My brother, we're back. You got the Shinerbach Tall Boy. What brings out the Tall Boys tonight?
I did. It's day 247 of trying to get Shiner Box attention. I mean, if this doesn't do it, I mean, I don't know. I did. I was trying to design my own Shinerbach kegerator slash barbecue pit earlier today.
Mhm.
I thought I came up with a beautiful concept. I don't know. Did you get a chance to check it out?
Yeah, it looked. You had a couple of concepts, but yeah, they looked pretty nice.
Some of them was kind of weird. Like AI just could not get what an actual trailer is, what an actual barbecue pit is. There's like one of them is like, it might be the image that we have up there. It's got two tongues on it.
Yeah, 2 hitches.
Yeah. And I guess that's for you. Just, you can pull it either way you want.
It's actually a good idea. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably a trailer manufacturer out there who are like, why didn't I think of that?
Light bulb going off.
Yeah, exactly. You can imagine two trucks just hooking up to it at the same time. It's like, no, I'm taking it today.
Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, that's actually a good looking pet. I would totally rock that thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I tried to get it to, I was like, give me a split image. One side the barbecue pit, the other side the kegerator with all the taps. It just gave me the same image. Like it actually messed it up even worse. I don't know if you ever gone through this whole AI thing trying to create images.
The worst.
I'm like, I told it, I created one earlier. I was like, okay, this looks perfect, but I need you to remove this out of there. And then it regenerates and it just basically creates the same image.
Right.
And I'm like, because I got an image come up here a little bit. I was like, it's like an old like Bridgerton Renaissance style image when we start talking about the prime ribs and coming up here in a minute. And I'm like, okay, in the background, in the paintings, I want a offset smoker. They're gonna have one with like an old guy, and there's gonna be an offset smoker. And then it puts like an offset smoker like in the room. You know what I mean?
AI is literally the most frustrating thing. Every time I try to get AI to do anything, it usually ends with it telling me like, you seem upset. You should probably come back later because I've cursed it out.
Oh,
I'm like, screw you, AI. You don't know what the hell you're doing. Yeah. Probably worse than that. But
I'm like, this is dumb shit.
I hate you, AI.
Exactly. But it always gets the Coors Light right. You know what I mean? It always gets that Coors Light image every time I want it. So I did like, give me some Easter eggs in the background. And then this was like a Christmas tree, and it showed all the like cases of Coors Light underneath the Christmas tree. I'm like, oh, that's kind of perfect. Yeah.
Hey, we got too much welding. Came in and said, "Yo." Then you got Greg Johnson say, "Hello, Brisket
What's
boys
up,
from the Jack in the Box drive-through. Extra sauce, John."
You got to.
Yeah. What do you get? Like extra crispy tacos?
When I do the Jack in the Box, it's the 2 for 99 cents. I don't know if they're still 2 for 99 cents, but
it's $1.29 now.
Oh, man. Even the inflation,
bro.
On those?
Jeez, Louise.
I blame Biden.
When I work construction, we would hit that, and we would hit hard.
Yeah.
I think my record is like 18 tacos
in one sitting.
Yeah, and I'm talking at least one packet of sauce on every one.
Are you hitting this on the way home, or is this during work?
Okay, so when I did that record, that was actually we were doing work at my folks' house, so it wasn't that bad. But no, we definitely had some days that were midday. You just crush it. Like there's one place that had a pizza buffet, so we would see how many slices we could do. We get up into like the mid 20s, and we're just like, we got to go back to work after this.
Right.
It's gonna be rough. Yeah.
Oh man, you talk about like. No, I would be like on the toilet, like.
Oh, for sure. The next day, I'm gonna be late, Dad.
It was terrible. Like I'll tell you something embarrassing that happened to me today. I'm at work. I get an email from a project coordinator like, "Hey, I'm coming to see you now. I need to meet with you and talk about something." I'm like, okay. And so I'm sitting around, I'm waiting, whatever. I was kind of tired this morning, so I was like halfway through a cup of coffee. You know me, I usually don't drink coffee. I don't usually drink coffee, but every once in a while I'll get one. Sometimes it makes the stomach bubble. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's allergies. I don't know what it is. So, and I'm sitting, I'm waiting. About an hour goes by and still haven't shown up. And I'm like, man, what's this person getting? I'm holding it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go to the bathroom. And I tell a coworker, I was like, look, the PM's probably going to show up here. I'm probably going to be as soon as I walk away, as soon as I go into that bathroom, they're probably just going to be right there. And I just tell them I'm indisposed for the minute or two. You know what I mean? And so
smoke you back in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I go back there and I'm sorry. do my business. Yeah. Just, and I'm like, I know as soon as I open this door, right down the hallway, they're just going to be sitting there waiting for me. I know it's going to happen. And I open the door, and then not like 20 feet right down the hallway, they're sitting there waiting. Just a group of people. And I'm like,
the group of them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst.
I am embarrassed, but hey, whatever.
I mean, everybody does it, but that's hilarious because you literally never drink. I've never seen you drink coffee. All the cook-offs, all the early mornings, we get coffee. You're like, no.
Yeah, it's weird because I got a coffee bar in my office with an espresso machine.
Seriously?
And a Keurig, and yeah.
All right. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Speaking of Biden earlier, did you see he just handed out like massive pardons? And
I did hear about one.
Yeah, it was like 39 pardons and like 1,500. Like shit, I don't know if they're pardons as well. If they're just like get away with shit. I don't know what they get out of jail free cards. I don't know what you call them, but 1,500.
I did not hear about that.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even want to dive into that. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Things I want to say, but I'm not going to say.
But you know what? One thing I would say, if you were my dad, I would hope you would party
right,
too,
right,
bro.
right.
You know
and that's the one. I guess I get it. That's his kid. I get it. It's shitty, but I get it. 1,500. The dude doesn't seem capable of
making that
many decisions. Like,
there's a lot of other people getting their little hand in his pocket. Like, hey,
yeah, getting his pocket doing what?
Yeah, you know, it's a figure of term, right? I saw earlier
clemency.
There it is. Have you been following this drone thing that's been going on in New Jersey?
You mentioned something about it, but I hadn't heard nothing about drones.
I guess my FYP is just like
totally different than mine.
Totally different than yours, and it's weird. I thought about this the other day, and it's like all over my FYP is just nothing but you got the NFR going on right now.
Oh yeah, I've been in and out of Vegas the past couple trips, and it's nothing but cowboy hats.
Everything on my FYP is girls showing off their NFR outfits.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. and that's not what I'm going out searching for. Huh?
Are they nice outfits or?
Yeah, some of them look. They have very nice outfits. We'll just leave it at that.
Have you got any pictures?
I did not save any pictures. But I'm sure you can probably Google it, guys. But it's not something I was actively searching. But the FYP knows it. It always knows, and it does not forgive whatsoever. Because if you hang around and lurk on a post for half a second too long. Then 5 minutes later, it's like, oh, maybe you like this, maybe you like this. And then when you shut it down, the next day you open it up and it's like nothing but that. Yeah. And you're like, so man. So if you ever wanted to find out if your significant other was like maybe cheating on you or maybe looking at other stuff, just ask them, hey, can I see your Instagram? Or I can see what, because you can definitely start thumbing through it. Because if you look at mine's going to be nothing but like barbecue and currently right now, NFR girls and their little cowboy hats and outfits. So that's weird.
All right. Yeah,
what's your
back to my thing? Drones in New Jersey is the other thing that preoccupies everything, and this is something that's real. It's going on in New Jersey over the last month or so. There's unidentified vehicles, drones that they don't know who they are, who they belong to, and they're massive. They're probably like, I think they're saying probably about the size of this table, like a giant coffee table or a small car. Yeah, and the government, and they're having press conferences right now. They don't know who it is. And I saw one House of Representative. He got on Fox and said that he heard from a credible source that it's a Iranian mothership sitting off the coast of New Jersey. And I thought the use of mothership was very weird. Like, what are y'all guys doing? Yeah.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but yeah, there's everybody's like getting like videos and all this stuff. Yeah, it's bizarre.
What are the drones doing? They're just hovering around, or
hovering around. One lady looks like it's going back and forth just over the same area, like it's mapping something.
Why do I feel like this is always the government trying to distract us from something? We don't talk politics on this show ever, really, but this just bizarre, man. That feels governmenty.
There's no way in the world or in our lifetime that they would have that doing and not know what it is. You know what I'm saying? The government didn't shoot it down.
Right.
They didn't. Yeah.
Right. It's very big red air balloon over Montana or North Dakota or wherever the hell it was. You know what I'm talking about?
But you know what? That shit ain't happening in Texas. You ever notice that? Right. The alien sightings, the drone
Take
stuff.
about 4 seconds, that sucker's blasted.
Right, yeah. Everybody's up there just shooting it out. I mean, and I'm just saying this, like you imagine a drone that big, the equipment and electronics it takes to power one of those things can't be cheap, right? We're talking probably like millions of dollars. So, I mean, if one just happened to fall out of the sky and
hey,
you might be able to take it and get like not repo, but what's the
what are you talking about?
Your $2 bills.
shop. Yeah,
right.
You go to the pawn shop. You probably get it like
sure.
a flat screen TV for it or something.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's a fair trade, a flat screen, as opposed to them old round screen TVs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But hey, this is a barbecue and beer podcast, Grabbing the Brisket. Hey, thank you for taking time out of your day, your night to tune in with us and shoot the shit and talk a little barbecue. I know some of you may be disappointed that the mouth of the South is not joining us today. So we obviously you get to hear a little bit from me and John. So welcome in. We appreciate it. And as always, we love the interaction. We love the questions. Today is all about prime rib and getting that prime rib put together for your Christmas dinner. And it's one of those deals where I think Christmas dinner is always, or maybe it's New Year's Eve dinner, or whatever the tradition is in your household. It seems to me it's always a thing that is kind of not forgotten, but put on a back burner to a certain extent.
Yeah, it's in people the shadows always, of Thanksgiving, I think.
Taking the easy route, the easy way. We're certainly guilty of it. We've done catering before. Lately, we've been making barbecue, making fajitas and tamales and all that type of stuff. So it's fantastic. This year we're doing prime rib. Nice. So I thought we'd have a little discussion and talk a little bit how we do it. A couple of tips, tricks that we found on the internet and some of our personal experiences that we've encountered. But some people, like I saw one earlier, it was like a video they were talking about, we're having a taco bar. You know what I mean? And I couldn't really gauge the guy was kind of pissed off, and I couldn't really gauge like if he was really for it or against it, because it was like really just about me. Like I don't really give a shit about the kids, type deal. He's like basically said F them kids.
Oh
yeah, that's why I was like, okay, but throwing together a taco bar, I mean, it seems like kind of just easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, but I mean.
That just feels like any other Saturday or something, like a taco bar.
Right. Like I imagine they're just going to take a whole like just empty off the counter, and they do those like what is like countertop nachos or countertop taco bar where they just like load all the shit onto the table. Yeah, it's like it's sitting on a trash bag because the mom doesn't want to have to do dishes or clean up shit.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, but I feel like they just scoop everything up in one bag and it's like, right into the trash can. All right, guys, we're done.
Yeah, definitely done that actually. We're before we get too far away from the beer talk, you showed me a picture of a was it a neighbor beer fridge, neighbors?
Yeah, the Neighborator. This is something that Natty Light is doing. They're offering, and there's only one available. I wish it was something that you can go out and purchase, but there's only one available. And it's called a Neighborator, and it's a 2-sided refrigerator. Both sides have their own locks to where you can get in, but you basically share a Natty Light refrigerator between you and your neighbor. And you have, and it comes with $650 in gift cards. So you get 2 cases of Natty Light every month to stock that up for the full year.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
So you may have to jump in. Whoever's listening, they may have to jump in and maybe get in on this thing. And I think it's easy to get into this this little raffle that they're giving drawing, I guess you would say. I think you just have to go to their socials and follow them, like on X and Instagram and maybe TikTok, maybe Facebook. I'm not sure. So you go follow all their socials, and I guess you're entered in. And I think December 20th or 21st is the last. That's when they're going to do the drawing for it.
Okay.
So, John, you might have to enter us in.
Well, I don't know. My neighbor doesn't really drink beer. Right. Can I just like mount it somehow between my bedroom and living room? Would that be a thing?
Yes. I mean, I don't think there's any rules against where you put it.
I mean, that is a glass front fridge on both sides though. So if somebody's in the living room and and when I'm in the bedroom with the wifey or something, they'd be like, "Hey, what's going on in here?"
You got Pit Life came in. Say what's going on, guys. It's been a while. Chad jumped on and said, "What's up, guys? Time for a shot." And you got,
I see a congratulations to Raul in there from Pit Life.
Yes,
that's awesome.
Pit Life. Thank you. I appreciate it. John Stone jumped on and said, "Hey, fellas,
what's going on, Mr. Stone?"
John Stone in the house. Yeah, and definitely, shots around, guys. We need all that courage, liquid courage flowing for sure. What do we got on deck, John? Do we sliding into the barbecue news already, or?
Yeah, let's do some barbecue news. I also got a mail call coming here in a second.
Okay.
But yeah, let's do some hot off the grill barbecue news. Nailed it. Okay. New updates on the 2025 MBBQA. This is the regional meetup, the mini conference, if you will. Talk to our buddy Kel, and he is excited. All kinds of stuff that's been added to the docket. Is the correct use of that word? The docket?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the docket.
Okay. Meathead is going to be doing a class on trends. Carrie Bringle is going to be doing a class on expanding your business, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kirk Mauser doing a business class on profits. And then they're also added in a live fire dinner featuring some brand new grills that are going to be released while we're there.
Dude, that's badass.
So grills you've never seen before. Grills gone wild, some might say. Also, the Rib Cook-Off Association is having their World Championship event. That's January 3rd through the 5th up there in Shawnee, Oklahoma. I don't know if you saw, we actually got an invite to that. They wanted us to come out and record, but we're going to be on a boat.
Yeah.
Jan and I are going to be on a boat. You could probably go up to Oklahoma if you want to.
Yeah, I might be on a boat as well. No, I would love to go. Honestly,
it does sound like a blast.
It does.
If it was any other week, we could try to figure out a way to work our way up there because those guys are super cool. And it seems like it'd be a fun event. I think this is the very first World Championship they've had, right? Because this is still a very new sanctioning body.
Yep.
Anyway, that's all I got for the hot off the grill barbecue news. Oh, I will add the MBBQA event. Yeah, that is going to be January 15th through the 18th or 19th, right in there that weekend. We're going. We're going to be there. We're coming. Get ready for us. Do you want to dive into this mail call real quick? We got a box over here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Came in from, I didn't write it on my paper, but I think it's from Low and Slow. If you guys are in the barbecue, into the barbecue stuff on the social medias, you guys have probably seen these folks post and stuff. Low and Slow, real wood, real smoke, real barbecue. And we got a little letter from them saying thank you. They want our feedback. Looking forward to it. Low and Slow, hickory smoked barbecue potato chips, and I think there's also barbecue corn chips. Is that correct? I'm excited to get down on these. We're not going to open them right now. We're not going to do.
I don't know if they would like the ASMR.
Yeah. But we are going to try these. We'll probably put out a little video, do a little chip review. I don't know. We'll do something. But I'm excited to try them. I do like barbecue chips. Like those are one of my go-tos. So thank you so much, Low and Slow. And the dude over there, his name is Jared. So thanks, Jared.
Yeah, thank you, Jared. Appreciate it.
Hey, Jan couldn't stay away. He said, "What's up, fellas? Good luck tonight."
What's up?
We don't need luck. Just kidding. Miss you, Jan. You're the man, Jan. With that, let's do a little. Today's episode is brought to you by Chicks That Smoke Spicy Barbecue Seasoning, our favorite versatile seasoning that elevates any dish from smoked meats to roasted veggies, even popcorn, whether you're grilling, smoking, or cooking in the kitchen. Chicks That Smoke will kick up the flavor. Chicks That Smoke Barbecue Seasoning, available at sucklebusters.com or through the link in the episode description.
Yeah, episode's also brought to you by StoneRanchTX.com. Hey guys, looking for the ultimate outdoor adventure? Check out Stone Ranch, the premier Texas destination for hunting, fishing, and unforgettable wildlife encounters. Right now, they're teaming up with us for an exclusive raffle that you do not want to miss. One lucky winner and 5 of their friends will stay at the ranch in this stunning lakefront house. You'll get to experience all the incredible activities Stone Ranch has to offer, and as a bonus, you'll hang out and cook with the Grabbing the Brisket crew. Don't miss your chance to don't miss your chance at a lifetime adventure. Head to stoneranchtx.com and also heartbeatofahunter.com to learn more and enter the raffle today. I didn't butcher that.
You did pretty good.
Too much.
Yeah, so. I literally gave you this to read like 5 minutes before we started, so you did really good.
There it is.
Yeah, nailed it.
Hey guys, I don't want to ruin it, but Ryan came in and said Jan's a bitch.
There it is.
Mm-hmm. That's not ruining anything, and we actually appreciate it when you mention those.
And Greg said, all the times I called Jan a bitch, I sure do miss him tonight. Full circle.
Jan.
Yeah, man, you popped that top a little too early. Should we have gotten into our Grabbing the Brisket beer review? Beer
review. Shit.
Damn,
I feel like we screwed that up.
I feel like if we had, what's the correct terminology? If we had perfect timing, that would just be terrible. Like, right, I know I'm butchering that, but it seems like our off timing is. If we didn't
have bad timing, we'd have no timing at all.
There it is, man. I knew you had it there. And you.
No, this is the Grabbing the Brisket beer review. Yep. I have no idea what we got tonight. James picked this one out and brought it. It's called Go Flight Hazy IPA, 12 ounces, True Anomaly Brewing. Control. This is Houston. We are a go for launch. This is a cool looking little can. This does have alcohol in it, right?
Yeah, 7.6.
Okay, I was looking for that on there. I didn't
see it's a cool can. I saw it automatically. Well, I know you don't work for NASA, John. You work for another flight academy or school, or
basically the same,
something like that. Yeah. I meant to get with you. And what was your pilot's name? What do you keep running to that listens to the show?
Oh, Greg.
Greg.
I'm pretty sure Pilot Greg.
Okay.
Greg. Yeah.
But it caught my eye. It was like, okay, definitely. And I was like, oh, they got a whole line of them that are all Houston themed. And this one I think is True Anomaly Brewing, and they're in Houston, Texas.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, maybe they're new up and coming startup. I don't know.
Could be. I like the can. I like the little dude on there. I never seen that before.
Right. Maybe like every can you purchase, a proceed goes to like
save an astronaut.
No. Yeah, save an astronaut for sure. Maybe they're like, are they still stuck up there in the space station?
There might be. Yeah. I think there's like a chimp up there or something.
Just
maybe a golden retriever. I don't know.
Right. So let's guys do your part. Go out and get you a 6-pack and save an astronaut or a chimpanzee or something.
Greg said he's not a pilot.
Different Greg. Different Greg.
Yeah, but do you know a pilot, or have you ever stayed at a Holiday Inn before?
This is we did IPA last week, right?
We did.
Yeah, this one's not as good.
It is not as good.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's sip on this a little bit.
Okay.
And let's talk prime rib.
Let's do
it. You mentioned earlier this prime rib is like probably the perfect cut of meat for Christmas. It's and if you do it right, it can be really freaking good. It's going to be tender, and for me, it's going to be push and rare, medium rare to rare, with a crispy, delicious, super flavorful crust.
Yeah, there's nothing like prime rib that tells you that you're going all out. You know what I mean? Like, and it's a wow factor when people come over and you're like, you got prime rib. And it's one of those things
you feel fancy.
You do. Yeah. I mean, even if you stop at one of the like shitty ass like steak restaurants and they're serving out prime rib, it's still good. You know what I mean? Good. So yeah, prime rib, that's going to be on the table for our Christmas. I think we're doing Christmas Eve dinner, but man, let's see. Let's go into a little brief history of prime rib. Obviously, this cut of meat has been around for quite some time. Prime rib is also known as a standing rib roast, and it's one of the most tender and flavorful cuts of beef. And its name comes from the location of the cow, the primal rib section. And at one point in time, this was reserved for the royalty and the wealthy. This cut of beef has become a holiday staple in many homes. You'll notice as you go out through your H-E-Bs and Sam's and Costco's, you'll have all these cuts just sitting there waiting for you. And check out my little AI rendering of what I thought the royalty people would be engaging with when eating their Yorkshire pudding and prime rib.
The best part has got to be the Coors Light neon on the wall.
Correct.
You guys are seeing this on the.
I'm not sure what the guy in the back is doing. He's holding something like.
That's classy though. I ain't gonna lie.
It is, yeah. I try to make it even worse. I was like, I want two guys in the background dueling each other with like muskets.
Say dueling?
Yeah. It couldn't get it right. It would show two guys with their hands pointed up in the air.
Maybe it won't make guns. I don't know.
It wouldn't make a gun, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. That lady on the left between the two gentlemen, she got a lot of cleavage showing.
All of them do.
All of them do. Yeah.
And the one in the blue is looking at me some type of way.
I guess that's just the style back in the day. You know what I mean? We're going full circle because now it seems like all the girls are showing their tidbits off nowadays. So
that's where it started.
Yeah, that's where it started. That was the OG. You know what
I mean? Showing off their ribeye roasts. Yeah. Okay. So picking out a perfect prime rib, bone in versus boneless. Bone in roasts tend to be juicier, more flavorful, while boneless carbs a little easier. Both are excellent choices depending upon preference. You have a preference, James?
I think I'm going bone in all day long. You know, like I say, it's more flavorful. I guess you're able to hold all the juices in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Unless it's like half the price, I'm going bone in as well. Yeah. I mean, if you can get a way better deal, then maybe I'll go the other way. But I like to do bone in. And I also like to basically cut them almost all the way off ahead of time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Get that seasoning in there behind it. Get all the butter rub and all the different whatever.
Yeah.
And then twine that sucker back on there and cook it. I think that's the way to go.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever done
I've
it.
Never tried it that way. Yeah.
It's pretty legit.
I think the last one I went with was it was bone in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do it. I mean, you can do it where you just slice it up after.
Yep.
But then you end up with a whole side that's kind of like not seasoned.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
it's everybody's personal preference, good. And honestly, for me, it comes down to the money, right? I mean, if like you said, if I find one that's like decently priced, I'm like, I don't really give away one way or the other. You know what I mean? I'll just scoop it up.
100%.
And we got Aaron Leslie jumped on and said, "What's up, bitches?" And
Jan's not here.
Yeah, it's just fine, upstanding gentleman here.
Yes, Aaron, we talked a little bit about your injection claqueta last week. We used it on my turkey for Thanksgiving, along with a brine and some other stuff going on. But it was freaking phenomenal.
Nice.
That is my go-to poultry injection right now. Really good stuff.
And we got somebody came in with their preference and said bone in, but cut and tied.
There you go, John.
Boom. There you go.
Yep. Score 1 for John and whoever that was. Let's get into size. They talk about, do you want to plan 1 pound per person for bone in, and you want to plan 3/4 of a pound per person for boneless?
Okay. A regular size, I think a 3 bone is going to be around 5 pounds probably.
Something like that.
So they're saying that's only going to serve five people. I feel like you can get more people out of that. I guess it depends upon the person.
Yeah, it depends on how I guess then you cut.
Right. And how, like if it's kids or women that don't eat as much, or men that don't eat as much, I guess, or women that eat a lot. I don't know. I guess it depends on who's eating.
For whatever's in your budget, you want to go large, go large. Right. Yeah. Last time we got, it was probably about a 5 pound standing rib roast, and we had plenty of food, and there's probably about 6-8 people there.
I feel like I always end up doing something else in addition to the prime rib anyway.
Yeah.
You know, like I almost always do a ham at Christmas. We do it Thanksgiving too, just because my kids freaking love ham. So there's always, like you said, there's always enough food to go around.
Yeah.
Not really an issue.
Are you doing the ham yourself, or are you just buying it and then
the ones I got they're pretty much already smoked. I'm just coming up with like a killer freaking glaze and basically warming it back up. And then, once it gets a little color, I just cover it with some foil, get it cooked as fast as I can, and then take that off and put the glaze on for the last 10 minutes or so.
Okay. I really didn't. I meant to ask you about hams, but I know I really didn't do any research as far as, I knew you were more of a, I would say expert in doing hams.
I wouldn't call it. I feel like I'm just reheating.
I usually just buy mine from the Honey Baked Ham store.
Ready to go?
Yeah, ready to go.
Yeah. No, they're super easy. Most of the ones you get at the store, I feel like, are already they've already been brined and cooked and smoked and all that shit. You're just basically reheating them.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. Make a good glaze. And a lot of times they come with a glaze, but I'll do something a little different. But
yeah.
Hey guys, you got Jessica Johnson came in and said, what are y'all thinking about throwing on the pit for whoever wins the raffle? Asking for a friend.
You know, I think whoever wins, we'll probably have a conversation with them. And
honestly, it's going to be entirely up to them.
Yeah. What do they want to cook?
Yeah.
I mean, where that pit is going to have a huge ass pizza oven. It's got a big offset. I think he's got an open fire type pit thing too. So we could do anything from briskets to pizzas to wings to burgers. You name it. We could pull some fish out the damn pond and fry that up if they want. There's a lot of options. It's going to be a lot of fun. And depending upon who wins, it's probably going to be a lot of beer.
Yes, beer and fun.
Yes, they go together. It's hand in hand.
Yeah, I was thinking brisket. That brisket's got to be a must, right?
Do brisket, right?
Yeah, we're not grabbing the chicken.
They're like, oh, we don't really like brisket. That's okay. That's fine. We're gonna do brisket.
Yeah,
we'll probably do a brisket.
We're gonna serve you like the most like shittiest brisket that we can ever do. No, we'll do brisket.
Yeah,
ribs. Anything else? I mean, it's one of those deals. Like, yeah, it's up to your preference.
We got we're gonna have multiple days to just hang out and do whatever. And yeah, we're gonna cook a lot of shit.
We'll plan something, and then Jan's gonna come in and go,
let's do this.
We're doing this. Yeah, he'll show up with all the ingredients. Like, that's nothing we even prepared for, Jan. He's like, no, this is what we're doing. I'm like, okay, there's Jan.
I'm making sushi.
Yeah, sushi.
Chinese food.
Right. Sushimi. We've never made Chinese food in our life, and that's what he's gonna go with. Like, okay, Jan.
We can say that because he's not here.
Yeah, exactly. So looking for marbling on prime rib, is that a must for you?
I mean, it's nice. If I can get a prime rib, sure. They're just so damn expensive. I'm okay with getting a choice or, even whatever select if I have to. I feel like obviously, the better the marbling, the better it's going to be. But for most people that don't get to have prime rib very often, including myself, if you just do a select and you do it really well, it's still going to be really good. You know what I mean? At least that's how I feel.
Yeah, you can't cook all the myoglobins out of this prime rib, right? Have you ever done that? Like, have you just overcooked
a prime rib?
A prime rib
before? For sure.
Yeah. You're like, it's good.
It's now roast beef.
Roast beef. Like, I'm just going to continue to cook this until it falls apart.
Yeah. Yeah. I did one a couple years ago, and I think I sent some pictures and stuff to Raul, and it was like perfect on the outside, and then the inside was okay. Like, there was still some pink in the center, but I would say a good 2 inches around the edge was like kind of grayish, and I was like, it was still delicious. It got devoured, but I wasn't happy with it. Everybody else was happy with it, but I was like,
we'll get into some of the cooking methods here in a little bit. But did you change up the way you cooked your?
Yeah, from then to last year, I did a totally different method. Like you said, we'll get into it, but the method I did last year, money, so good, so good. Okay. Getting it dialed in for sure. Yeah, that was the one from, I don't know which one that was. I think that was the one from last year that he's showing now, but it had a good crust too. Both of them had a pretty good crust.
So as you mentioned before, not all prime ribs are prime grade beef. And then that may be a misconception that some people out there may think that, prime rib, that's prime grade meat. But no, not the case. So you can look for choice. If you can get a nice quality choice prime rib, go for it. Still,
Costco has them a lot, I think. Yeah. I'm totally down for that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not turning my nose up at that.
Getting to a little bit of the preparing your roast. Do you have any tips, tricks? What do you do when you get your roast prepared? I guess either the night before or earlier in that morning.
Usually it's that morning, and like I said, I'm cutting the bones off. I'm making some kind of a compound butter, heavy on like the rosemary and the garlic and that kind of stuff, salt and pepper, obviously, and then I'm smothering the shit out of it all around, and then I'm twining that the rack back on, the bones back on, and then obviously you want to have it. You don't want to have it super cold when you're putting it in. You want to have it closer to room temperature, I think, and then that's pretty much it as far as prep goes.
Okay.
Yeah, I trim some of the fat, but I don't trim a lot of the fat because I feel like that shit tastes really good when you get it in the oven.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Let it get a little crispy.
Yeah, I'll do like the last one I did last year. I made kind of like, I don't really like the rosemary and the herbs. I really don't like that. I usually just go for more of a salt, pepper, garlic, and use little Worcestershire as a binder. Usually I'll make up like a paste of like salt, pepper, get a little garlic in there, and then some Worcestershire sauce, and kind of just make a little paste out of it, and just rub that all over the roast and let that sit in the fridge overnight.
Okay.
And then it's good to go in the morning.
Kind of a dry brine type.
Kind of a dry brine type style, and then pull it out, let it sit, let it come to room temperature, kind of cool off a little bit, and then they're ready to cook it. And I kind of go through, this is something my buddy Derek up there at Back Porch Barbecue in LaGrange, Texas, kind of what he taught me, cooking the prime rib low and slow. That low and slow, and essentially doing the reverse sear method. Like you go in around 250 ish. You can probably bump it up to 275, but 250 ish, and you're going to cook that for like, I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I don't think we mentioned, but yeah, get a probe. Make sure you're probing this cut of beef. This is something you don't want to just guess by hours and poundage and stuff like that.
Poke it with your finger. That feels right.
Yeah, there it is. So yeah, I'll throw it in the oven, or I'll put it on the smoker. I prefer the smoker for the people that don't have a smoker that are listening. You can throw it in the oven, but I'll put it in the smoker. I'll try to cook about 250 ish, and I'll smoke it until it gets, you're shooting about 10, 15 degrees under what you would want. Well, I think last time I took it up to medium rare, and then pulled it off and let it rest. This is something Derek over at Back Porch taught me. Pull it off and then let it rest. And it's kind of something we learned when we cook steaks doing the reverse sear method. He's like, by letting it rest, and then when you come back to get the sear on it, crank the oven up or crank your fire up and get that nice sear on it for 10, 15 minutes. That way it seals in the juices. It creates that crust, that bark. When you pull it off, if you let it rest, then you can immediately just start serving and get to eating. If you didn't let it rest prior to doing that, then you got to let that meat stand for a while.
Right. And I think letting it rest in between, like you're saying, that also helps it to not, I feel like if you don't do that, you're going to overcook that thing. I feel like every time I've tried to just like go from smoking to searing, that temperature just immediately goes boom. Like it gives it a second for the internal temperature to kind of stabilize.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before, and this was just Prowse described years ago when he first started getting into this thing. If you let it, like I said, you let it stabilize, I think it's just, you end up with a better product. I think 100% that's the way to go.
Yeah, definitely.
There's some other ways you can do it. Some other methods you can use. I've done the reverse sear method, and I think the last time I tried to do it, I did not let it rest in between, and I did overcook it. But there's also the traditional low and slow, right? 450, and then let's see, you start with the higher temperature, and then you drop it down.
Low.
Right. I've done that too. That didn't turn out that great for me either, honestly. The best one that I've done, and this is one that I learned last year from our buddy Meat Dad, is crank your oven up or your smoker up or whatever it is up to 500 degrees. Put it in there at 5 minutes per pound, and then once that time is up, just shut your oven off. Let it sit there for 2 hours. Don't open the door. Don't do nothing. I'm telling you, that thing came out perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you got that video. You can roll that while we're bullshitting here. But when I tell you that thing was like pink from one edge to the other with a nice crust, I was stoked. I pulled the audio out of this video because I didn't want to sound like a moron, but good Lord, I was excited. Denny was cutting it, and I was just jumping up and down in the kitchen because the year before I was so disappointed.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you're not watching this on the YouTube, you should be.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. Finish watching or listening to it here, and then go over to YouTube and give us another view.
Yeah, and I think we kind of glossed over just a little bit over the traditional high-low method. So start at 450. This says roughly around 20 minutes to create the crust, and then you're going to lower your oven temperature, or if you're cooking it on a pit, lower your temperature down to about 325 and roast until your thermometer reads your desired doneness. medium rare 120. Let me back that up. I said that wrong. Rare 120, medium rare 130, medium 135. And would suggest maybe pulling that 5 degrees sooner than what you were wanting to, because you're always going to get that carryover effect. Whether you're doing this meat, but any large cuts of meat, it's still going to radiate that heat and it's still going to carry over a little bit. But that even goes with like steaks and chickens and stuff like that. So pull it off a little bit sooner. You'll be happy with it.
Okay. And I guess we talked a little bit about resting. If you're going to do, the traditional high to low, you need to let it rest, right? Not so much with either of the other ways that we mentioned. They'll be ready to go soon as it's ready.
Yep.
As soon as you're ready, it's ready. Anything special about carving these things?
Well, I guess it should be the obvious, right? You need a really sharp carving knife, right? Or get yourself an electric knife. One of the two. Look, honestly, you should have sharp knives in your house at all times. But if you don't, go ahead and invest in a knife sharpener, or use that. What do they call that thing? The steel, the thing that just sits in my knife block,
honing
knife that just never collects.
What is that
rust
thing?
Or whatever it is? I got another knife sharpener that I use. So
that's for if there's an.
I don't even know what I'm doing with this thing. I'm just sitting there, just doing this little number right here. Just it looks cool. Looks like I'm trying to ride a horse or something. I had Laura the other day. She was like, "Man, Emma had a box, had a school project due, and shit. This is my life right now. I'm like, for the not past couple of weekends, but the past couple of projects, it's always Sunday night. Oh, hey, I need this." I'm like, okay, when's the project due? She's like, tomorrow. Like, oh my goodness.
That's the worst. The worst.
We needed an X-Acto knife for one of the projects that she was doing for her biology class. She had to make a little, I guess, a depiction of a DNA. I was like, okay, so we need an X-Acto knife. So she said, oh, maybe I have one of my art things. So she found ones and then Laura's over there checking. She's like, let me see if it's sharp. And she's all running her finger across it. I'm like, I'm not sure if that's how you check to see if things are sharp. She's like, I'm not going to cut myself. I'm like, well,
that's how cutting yourself works.
Exactly. Yeah. I was like, maybe we could just test that on a piece of paper or something.
Tell me this. Every time they say it's due tomorrow, isn't the next question always, well, when was it assigned?
Right. Yeah.
Do they get assigned today? On Sunday?
No.
Like, what is happening?
And we got a new rule. Like, we were talking about projects the Friday before everything's due. I think I just have to ask every Friday. You have a project this weekend?
Just ask every day.
Every day. Yeah, she's gonna get tired of that.
I'll tell you when I have one, Dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Were we able to get that video up, or it wasn't working?
It was muting the mics, so we'll run it towards the end.
Yeah, we'll run it at the end, or if not, I'll probably post it again on our social medias just to kind of rub it in everyone's faces how well I cooked that thing. So, because it was really good. Making the perfect au jus. I have not really done a lot of the au jus stuff. Usually I'm like a horseradish guy. So you might have to lead on this one a little bit, buddy.
Well, this one, au jus, you got to have the au jus. You got to have the horseradish sauce as well. But the au jus. So I came across this recipe. I've tried it. It's pretty decent. I have not tried it with the dry red wine, but I'm probably going to give it a go this year. But really, it's like, okay, first thing, you got to get yourself a roasting pan that you can elevate this rib roast up off of so it allows the airflow to go all around the prime rib. And also you're able to collect the drippings. So if you can collect the dripping, just like your turkey, whether you're making au jus or you're making the turkey gravy, whatever. So this one calls for the pan drippings from the roast. You're going to go like 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter. You're going to do like 1 small shallot, or you can do like half an onion, finely chopped, a couple of cloves of garlic. You're basically going to saute this in a pan, get it nice and toasty and browned up, so to speak. And then you're going to use the wine or beef broth to deglaze the pan. to a certain extent. And I tried to put in a little clip it on this right here, because one of my favorite South Park episodes is where Randy Marsh is he gets all into cooking, and I guess it becomes a like a addiction for him or whatever. And so he's not allowed to cook anymore. And so he calls up a hotline to listen to a guy cook.
I think I heard you talk about this.
He starts like, he's cooking and he's pan frying chicken. And he's like, oh, you pan frying chicken? He's like, yeah. He's like, are you going to deglaze that pan? He's like, yeah, I was thinking about maybe deglazing with some red wine. He's like, yeah, deglaze the shit out of that pan. And I was like dying. I was like, so I try to get an image of Randy Marsh popping in this thing. But if anybody's seen that South Park episode, it's freaking hilarious. So deglaze the pan. You're going to add a couple more cups of beef broth, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. You can throw in the fresh thyme, salt and pepper to taste. You want to thicken it up a little bit, you can throw a little cornstarch into it. Personally, up to your preference or whatever. I have not cooked this route before. I've done some of the commercial au jus type stuff that they have on the market, the au jus preps, some of the stuff that we kind of used in competition chicken. We've used in competition cooking brisket, trying to get that that beef au jus. So obviously, you know, when you do a brisket and you wrap it up, you have that leftover, that au jus that just stays in the wrap. So almost kind of like same premise, where you could probably just get some beef broth or some type of other bone broth, and you can kind of doctor it up yourself or whatever. So there's a couple of little tips and tricks that that you guys can do. A couple of product suggestions if you guys want to go that route. Obviously, if anybody's listening and they have a recipe to make au jus or horseradish. So horseradish, what
I don't know. I usually do like a store-bought thing. I have no idea how to make horseradish, I'm honest. Yeah, I have no idea. I know a couple people were asking about the au jus recipe. We had like a picture, but it's coming out super blurry. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll post that on the website. I'll try to get it posted tomorrow, if not this weekend. So you'll be able to see that. And if you're not on our newsletter, I'll try to put it out on that too, so you guys will be able to see it. If you're not on our newsletter, you should be.
You got a Dad Seasonings jumped on, said happy pre-Friday, and that his family loves au jus. Hey, what is that?
Au jus?
Yeah,
kind of like it's not gravy, but it's like a liquid. It's like the stuff you do like with like a French dip or something. It's like
au jus is just like the natural like beef
drippings.
Broth.
Yeah,
the beef juices that come from whatever you're cooking, and obviously you can jazz it up with like just buy beef broth or bone broth or whatever. But it's just when you go to these places that have the prime rib, it's usually not thick. It's usually
it's pretty
consistency runny. Of just a broth.
Yeah.
But it's just a very beefy
yeah. Have you ever had prime rib and then they like pour something over the top of it? Liquid?
I don't know if I let them get there to that point. You know what I mean? Because
you ever make a brisket?
Be serious.
Have you ever had a brisket where it was wrapped in foil and had all the juice?
Yeah.
That's au jus.
Okay.
Yeah. A couple of commercial shortcuts. So Knorr's has an au jus mix. McCormick's has an au jus gravy mix. And honestly, like, who comes up with the spellings of au jus? Is this French?
Somebody made that up. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm such an idiot and I spell horribly. And I'm like Googling like au jus.
Like, God bless you.
I got nowhere close to how that was actually like spelt. I'm just, really? I'm going to be honest.
How'd you do it?
I think I was just like,
what makes the zh sound?
Yeah. I think I got AUJU.
Actually, I might have went with that too. That actually sounds pretty good. Okay. Yeah. Pro tips for success. A thermometer. 100%. I feel like anytime you're barbecuing, well, not anytime, but a lot of times when you're barbecuing, you need after you got your grill and you got your fuel and you got some kind of seasoning, that's the next purchase you should have if you're cooking indoors or outdoors. Honestly, you should have a probe.
Yeah, and that's find you a high quality one. Don't skimp out. Some of the ones that and I have my ThermoPro. It took a dive, so I'm gonna have to get another one. Hopefully, Santa can bring me one. But it took a dive on me. I'm too rough on this shit. I'll just leave it outside.
I know. I've walked up and seen him sitting outside on the web. I'm like, right, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, these jerks say it's waterproof, so I'm testing it to its full extreme. You know what I mean? I don't think it's meant to be tested like that way, but honestly, like Thermopro Labs or Thermowork Labs, if you want me to test your product by just leaving it outside on my tailgate overnight, honestly, it's worked for years. But I think it's I dropped it, kicked it, something happened. But anyways, get you a high quality one, because I've gone through way too many like low quality shitty probes to where it takes like 20 minutes for it to get up to the temperature that finally it's like it's working itself up. It's like the train that can't get up over the hill. And I'm like, and by that time you're like, you let all the heat out of your barbecue pit, and you're just like, it just and I got my wife's like pampered chef, and if I feel very stupid using it, and it doesn't work as good as my Thermoworks, but I'm just
Thermoworks, Thermopro, they make some good stuff. And actually, we're going to get into in a little bit here. I have a little list of like Christmas ideas, either stuff that's on my Christmas list or stuff that I've already tried that I think other people should have on their Christmas list.
Ooh, I got one. I've been using the shit out of one, so everybody's got to.
Are we done with that prime rib, or we have anything else we want to?
No, I think we're good with that. I was going to ask you, what is Yorkshire pudding? Have you ever made that before?
No, it sounds like wet pudding. It sounds like something from England, and it sounds like something I probably wouldn't like that much.
Yeah, they make it with the au jus.
Oh, maybe I would like it. I don't know. Yeah. It sounds like I might like it. I don't know. I've never had it. So
yeah. Raul, can you Google Yorkshire pudding?
Yeah. I can. And Eric came on and said, if y'all are cooking at the Austin Rodeo, and Jan jumped in and said, yes.
Yes. We're definitely going to try to be cooking out there at Austin again. We've done the last, 3 years? It's my personal favorite cook-off. So we're definitely going to try to get out there again. We need to probably start planning that. Okay. You were saying something else about the prime rib, or
no, Yorkshire? We're going to find out what it is. Okay. It's some type of pastry type thing. I see it all. If you're looking at my little rendition of Bridgerton, you see it's all puffed up or whatever. So
it kind of look like I feel like it has the same. I don't know if it's the same ingredients or whatever as like a popover. I don't know if you've ever had a popover. My Aunt Tony makes those, and they're legit, but they're almost like. It looks like a muffin, but it's like hollow on the inside and really, really, really moist in the middle. Like, I don't know why or how that happens, because it's almost hollow in the middle.
Yeah.
But it's good. But I feel like it's probably a similar dough. Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like if it was really good, like a Yorkshire pudding, I feel like if it was really good, we'd be eating them.
We know more about it
in the United States.
Right.
That kind of like, soon as we kick the redcoats out, they're like, no, you can just keep your.
Yeah, take your Yorkshire with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that what that is?
Here we go. So we have. Okay, so it's bread, and it just filled with gravy. Like, is that what that is?
It kind of looks like a Dutch baby. Have you ever had a Dutch baby?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, Denny's been making those. She saw old Gork Boys making them. He's been making a ton of them recently. I don't know if you've seen him making them. Yeah, but Denny's been making them. They're delicious. They're really good. It's kind of like a fancy pancake, but these look different because there's a bunch of slimy shit in the middle. So I don't know what that is. I don't know if I'm interested in that or not, and I don't understand where the au jus comes in.
Yeah. Cool. I feel like you're making like a kolache that's not a kolache. You know what I mean?
Yeah, more like a Danish, I would say. But either way, I don't want it. I don't want to have your Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah, we don't want your Yorkshire puddings. We don't want your stupid drones.
Right. If you have banana pudding, I'll take that.
Right. We're going to make your Yorkshire pudding, and then we're going to fill it with banana pudding.
Right.
Yeah, that's going to be the pudding.
Yeah, 100%.
Thanks, John.
Hey, James, somebody wants to know if you're going to be cooking at the Houston Rodeo.
No, I will not be cooking at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, but I will be out there volunteering, doing my duty.
Thanks for bringing that up, Greg.
It's really for the kids, you know what I mean? And I really try to put it pen to paper to see how many kids' lives I've saved over the 13, 14 years that I've volunteered for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. And it's got to be like a lot, right? Like, I keep waiting for that one time that I roll in and all those kids are just going to be sitting
waiting
there.
For you.
Yeah. They're going to be sitting there. They're like, oh, Papa, you know.
Good Lord. Okay. I'm done. I'm out.
Because of all the beer you drank.
Right.
It's like good. Little tiny Tim comes strolling out. He can walk again.
James.
Yeah. There you go.
Holy crap! That is just. I don't know what the hell that is, honestly. Can we not bring up Houston Rodeo anymore? Thanks, Greg.
I think we're about 68 days away from the Houston Live Show.
Approximately 68 days?
Approximately. That could be off.
68 days, 7
plus
hours.
Or minus about 10%.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, we got Mike Stewart just jumped on and said, I usually eat my prime rib with nothing, just the crust and flavored with the meat.
Okay, well, Mikey, you're moving to Texas, and you're going to get some good prime rib when you get here. If you guys don't know, Mikey's the one that turned the lights out on us a couple weeks ago on the show. So
let me ask you this: are there any faux pas with prime rib?
Overcooking.
Overcooking
is
one.
The biggest one.
What about when you're going in and getting your slice of? When you're in charge of getting your slice?
Are you asking
is there any do's or don'ts?
If you take too much crust or something,
right?
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Right? Is the end piece the best piece?
Well, I'm asking, is everybody out there prime rib? I mean, is the end piece the best piece?
For me, it's not the best piece. It does have the best flavor, but it's usually the part that's the most done too, which I'm not a big fan of. I like the flavor part, but I don't like the part because, like I said, it's usually going to be more done than the rest of it. I want probably a center cut. But yeah, I guess if you're going in there trying to get all the crust, don't be a crust hog.
Right.
That's just screwed up.
You're trying to get little scrapies, like trying to scrape off a little crust.
That fell off of my piece. I'm just going to put that on my plate.
Right. Somebody goes in there, it's just nothing but just straight, just wall to wall pink.
No, just cut the edges off.
Right. You're like, do we have any raw jus? Nope. Sorry, we're all out of jus.
Raoul jus.
Raju.
That's something different.
This 7.6 beer is good.
It is. Mine's all gone. I liked it better as I drink it. I think it's honestly not that bad. Do you want to review that before we get into my little Christmas list here, or do you want to do the Christmas list?
Yeah, let's finish the beer review.
Okay. When I started drinking this, I was like, this is probably like a 6. But as I drank it,
it grows on you.
It did grow on me.
Yeah, and I think I'm liking this format of beer review a little bit better.
Yeah, you get a chance to really dwell on it a little bit.
1 or 2 swallows is not an acceptable grade on. I see you guys' faces, you assholes. Like I can't. It's either I misspeak and y'all guys repeat my misspoken words, but I like this beer.
I do too. Yeah. It's good. It's very piney is the only word I can think of. It's very piney, and it's not as grapefruit forward or any kind of fruit really. It's mostly just piney and hops to me. But it's still relatively smooth, and it's got a nice little punch. But it's not like over the top alcohol kick in the nuts. I like it. I'm gonna go. I'll go. I'm going to go 8. Maybe I'm just a little buzzed, but I'm going to go 8. 8 even.
Solid.
8.0.
I think I'm trying to remember what I scored last week's, which I think I like this just a little bit better. So I'm going to go a solid. I'm going to go 7.0 on this thing. It's a good, solid, hazy IPA. Nothing really, I can't fault it. I like the one last week just a little bit better.
Yeah, last week's was definitely a better beer.
And maybe it was the cause that I like better, maybe not. Dogs. But this one, as we mentioned before, every can, every 6-pack that gets sold, part of the proceeds go to save an astronaut. We bring him home from space.
You may or may not save an astronaut.
May or may not. Yeah. There may be some chimpanzees or golden retrievers up there.
Yes, let's bring them home, folks.
Let's bring them home. Like Bud in Space. Is it like
Air Bud in Space?
Air Bud. Shoot.
Classic. Such good movies, man.
It was, right?
They don't make them like that anymore. Or maybe they still do it. I just haven't seen
this concludes the Grabbing the Brisket beer review.
All right, so here's the Christmas list thing. And I was just thinking, this is probably a couple weeks ago. I started thinking about some of the stuff that's come out, and most of these, if not all of these, are items that came out this year. Because we could go on for hours and hours about all the barbecue items that we would love to have, but I think pretty much all of these came out this year, so they're new items that I think are really cool, and I either want or I've already had, and I think other people should try. And some of these are ones that were recommended to us. Like I've mentioned before, we have, if you're not part of our Facebook page, the Grabbing a Brisket fan club or whatever the hell it's called. And then if you're in there, you can become part of our messenger group where we just shoot the shit. And there's a lot of really, really awesome people in there, big names in barbecue. Sometimes I put out questions in there and ask, whatever. And I did ask, like, hey, what's some of your favorite items that came out in 2024 for barbecue? And some of those are on this list too. So,
okay,
yeah,
let's go through.
Yeah. The first one I got is the Boyer brush, which you've probably heard us talk about Boyer brush before, but they have a new one. It's the Boyer brush mini. Okay. Which the original one, the head on it's like 8 inches wide or something like that, and it's badass. Don't get me wrong, the original is like, it caught my eye at the American Royale a couple of years ago, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" I called them over and started talking. That's how we got to meet those guys. But they got a new one. It's a miniature. It's like 4 inches wide. We have actually got to play with this one a little bit, and it's really cool. So
yeah, I have the regular size one, and I utilize it every day when I cook.
Did I not give you one of the mini ones?
I do not have.
I think I have an extra one at the house for you.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
I can attest for the larger one. I mean, it has not rusted.
Yeah, same technology. So,
and you know me, I like
leaving shit outside,
and wearing it out and then put it to test of time. And Mother Nature has not claimed this thing. It has not rusted. It has not rusted. It's still performing strong. So, and it's a Haas. This thing can be a personal weapon. It can be a home defense type deal.
Yeah.
It's the build quality is awesome. So yeah, I recommend Boyer Brush Mini.
And we mentioned a little bit earlier, we were talking about probes and whatnot. So ThermoWorks came up with their wireless probe.
Okay.
Setup, kind of like some of the other companies you've probably seen out there. But from what I understand, this one it's got the RFX, which I believe means you can pretty much use it from anywhere, right? So it doesn't matter if you're at the store or whatever. I think it hooks into your Wi-Fi or something. I don't know how it works. But it comes in 1, 2, or 4 probes, and the price these are high end, so it starts like $159, goes up to about $350. But these are the good ones. These are the wireless ones. You can leave them in there for your whole prime rib cook, and it's just going to be spot on, super accurate.
Yeah.
So
I have not tried this one. I'm eager to get my hands on this and try it. Some of the ones that I've tried before with the wireless probes, they were straight garbage.
Yeah. So what I've heard, and this is one that actually I talked to Kel about. He's like, "No, this one is legit." So
okay.
Kel's never lied to me before. Kel also mentioned this one. Apparently, I've never even heard of this company, Starter King Fire Starters. I guess it's a new. I don't know if it's a new company or this is just a new product that they're coming out with. Fire starters, and they have a different packs you can buy or whatever. But they also have one that's a monthly subscription. I don't know about you, but half the time I'm cooking, I'm like, hey, it's time to start the pit. And I'm like, I don't have any fire starters. Yeah. I don't have my things out of gas, my torches, whatever. So this one they'll just send you a box every month if you want, and it's like $15 a month to have one show up at your house, which is it's pretty good for everybody's in a monthly subscription of something at this point. This is a good one to have. So they make good stuff.
Not as good as my Playboy monthly subscription.
That's still a thing?
It is. No, it's not.
Digital.
Digital, which is just terrible.
Right. Anywho. Okay. So yeah, a lot of these next ones are ones that folks have recommended to me. A couple of these are ones that I have tried, but Fire Hatch Rubs, which is actually a brand I'd not heard of before. I just started talking to them in the last couple of days here on the X. I always want to say Twitter, but it's not Twitter. It's X.
Kel said it's also available at Lowe's.
Well, there you go.
There's Lowe's. All right.
Hey, Kel ain't never lied. So there you go. And we're going to put links. I'll try to put links to all this stuff in the description down below. If you're watching live, you're not going to see links. But if you're catching up on this later on, obviously, there'll be some links down below. Just scroll on down there. Fire Hatch Rubs. And everybody that had I posted it out there, and a bunch of people were saying, this is the one to try. It's their Cajun Kicker Rub.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't tried it. It's on my Christmas list now. Looks legit. They had a bunch of other rubs too.
Gotta try it.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. And then the next one there is Doodle Q, which we have tried their injection, and they did win. They won at the MBBQA awards last year for their injection. Well, they got an all-purpose rub now, and they're calling it DAP, which I think is kind of dope because it's the Doodle Q all-purpose. DAP
it up.
You get it? Exactly. I think it's cool. It's a cool idea. And they even have like a little fist bump thing in the background. You probably can't see it in the picture, but it's cool. I think it's cool. I don't know. I might be too old to know what's cool at this point, but All right. And the next one is Chef's Temp. They've got a couple new products, the Breezy and the Pro Temp S1. It's another kind of a probe deal. These ones work in conjunction with each other to keep your temperature regulated on your ceramic eggs and grills and whatever.
Okay.
So it's like what is the I'm not gonna remember the name now. But basically it's got the fan built into this little thing you hook into your grill, and it'll automatically stoke the fire when it's needed.
Oh, dude, perfect.
And keep it at whatever temperature you want.
Yeah.
So you can just drink as much beer as you want and not have to worry about it.
I'm all about the comforts and I'm all about the conveniences.
We will turn your Big Green Egg into a pellet grill.
Yeah.
Set the temperature and forget about it.
Here's the messed up deal. Here's the messed up thing. Let me get into this a little bit.
Here we go. Let's hear it.
Here's the messed up part of this convenience that these companies are providing for us. They're basically just turning them into gosh dang ovens. You don't have to do anything.
I get it. I love it. I also get that it's like, come on, man.
Right.
But I also think it's fantastic.
Yeah. What I'm really sad about is now I got to find something else to do with my time so I can at least explain to my wife I'm actually doing something outside. And I'm not just drinking beer. I'm like, I'm still cooking, babe. This thing is just being a beast. I'm trying to get the fire right.
You're on your phone. I'm stoking the fire.
Right. Yeah. Like maybe it's just me needing to be like a better actor, like to start banging around on shit. Right. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, hey, I love it. These guys and gals with these companies coming up with products that are making our lives a little bit easier. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just
100%.
poking
and I think
it fun.
Gets more people into barbecue. I think it gives, because if you just started into barbecue and somebody was like, "Oh, you got to start with a Big Green Egg," you might get into it and be like, "I don't like barbecue. Like this is too complicated. It's too hard." But those Big Green Eggs, or any kind of ceramic, cooker, it can be complicated. It can be like they get away from you and you're screwed. You know what I mean? And I've seen lots of people posting these suckers on Facebook for 75% off because they hate them. And it's just because they don't know how to maintain the fire. These kind of things can really help you try to figure that shit out.
Yeah. I mean, you can go from like low and slow to like nuclear.
Yeah, like
fast.
That. Just like on a barrel cooker.
Yeah.
Okay, I got just a couple more here I'll share with you. West Coast Barbecue Shop has their own line of rubs now. They got a beef, a chicken, a pork, and an all-purpose rub. This is another one that I hadn't heard of, but a good friend of ours online recommended, and I will definitely be checking them out. They're on the Christmas list. Hopefully, they will be in my stocking Christmas morning. You guys do stockings?
Yes. Yeah, and here's another thing. I might as well get into it while you just brought that up there, because I saw a post about this not too long ago about stockings, and some guy posted pictures of stockings, and it's like, if this is you, you're basically terrible. This is not stockings. He's like, if your stocking wasn't made like 30 years ago or 20 years ago, you know what I mean? Like the old school red and white, and it doesn't have like glitter, your name drawn in like glitter and stuff, glued to it. You don't have a stocking. You basically have, and they showed like examples of these like stockings that look like you just got it off like Better Homes and Garden or some shit.
Over the top.
Top. It's like it matches the decor, all that shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, what are you doing?
Oh my God.
Yeah. I still have, we still have like Laura's aunt made stockings for us, and it's the old school. She decorated it herself, stuff like that. But obviously this is something that was handmade. And it has more of the, what would you say? The
authenticity.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Mine's a sock.
It's an actual sock.
No bullshit.
Like a tube sock.
No, it's a Hanes white sock my parents put on the wall, like just to be.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
We got to put your name on that roll. Is your name on it?
Yeah. Okay. My name in the
permanent marker.
Your name on that.
No, it races, from year to year. If I'm invited, if I'm not, we'll see.
Yeah, we had them all matching with our names on them or whatever. But the problem is, our kids, like, as we're unwrapping presents, they're putting everything in like a box or a laundry basket or whatever, so they can take it to the room at the end.
Right.
But inevitably, their stockings end up in this box, and inevitably they don't all make it back down before we put the Christmas stuff away for the year. And then we spend, some time looking for it, and maybe we don't find it. Maybe we do find it. Maybe we find it 3 years later. I don't know. But we never have all of them matching anymore, which maybe matching is a bad thing. I don't know. Does that qualify as not being?
No, you're good. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got just a couple more here. And this one is our boy Dad Seasonings, which we have tried their stuff before. They make some great stuff. We did I think we had a burger video that Matt did. That was
the brisket burger.
Really freaking good. Yeah, we ground the brisket and all that stuff. Well, he has a new, I don't know how recent it came out, but he's got a new little lineup. He calls Trace Padres. And there's a brisket rub, there's a sriracha rub, and there's a Cajun rub. But when I mentioned it online, there was like a lot of people jumping on like, oh yeah, you have to try these. You have to try these. So I haven't tried them, but I want to try them. Yeah. So they're on my list.
Gotta try.
Yeah, we gotta try them. And then the very last one here is from our friends over there at Barbecue and More Dry Rubs, which I know you've tried some of their stuff.
Yep.
I've tried some of their stuff. The one that I liked the best so far was the mango chipotle. I think I did on some pork chops and also on some wings. Really good. They also have a special I noticed on their website where you can get 3 of their bags, and it comes in the little bag, so it's a decent amount. 3 bags for $25, which is a pretty good deal because normally the bags are like $9 or $10 each. So might be good stocking stuffers, babe, or whatever. So that's all I got on my list there.
Yeah, I love it.
Did you just call James babe?
No, I was talking to my wife.
Oh, yeah.
Not that she listens on a regular basis.
It's the seasonings. That's always a good stocking stuffer.
There's so many good ones out there. A ton of them.
Anybody out there that's trying to get something for I don't know, their dad, their brother, aunt, uncle, anybody and everybody. Seasonings are a good little stocking stuff that you can go. I would probably say I would bypass the grocery store selection. I know our HEB has a pretty good selection of seasonings and stuff like that. Some of your chains, like Lowe's, carry a little bit more variety of seasonings that you really just can't get anywhere. I know our buddy Aaron Leslie with Texas Oldest Seasonings, he's in quite a few Lowe's. So Academy is a real good source. I know.
Yeah, we could name. God, there's Aaron Leslie's Chicken Fried Barbecue, LC Barbecue, the Jess Prowse, the Mo Caissons. There's a lot of the Rogue Cookers, Hey Grill Hey. There's so many of them out there, and maybe I should just put a list of like some of our favorites together and put it on the website.
We'll put it out there, and
there's so many out there, and I hate to try to. I don't want to leave anybody out either. So if you're listening and you're like, hey, don't forget about so and so. Shoot us a message somewhere and I'll add it to the list because I do want to put out some kind of a list.
Yeah, we'll put it out this coming up week so everybody can get an idea. And and it's something that you can either you got to jump online and order. There's barbecue stores that you can go to get all this stuff, or they may have it at your local Ace or whatever hardware stores or outdoor sporting goods stores around you that might carry some of that stuff. One of the things I came across that I've been using daily is the Royal Oak torch. Have you seen this? Yeah, this is the one that's it's about, I don't know, 6 inches long, and you can turn the flame up and it creates a flame like a torch flame for like this big.
Oh, it's like a lighter?
Yeah, it's a lighter.
Oh, is that the red one you got?
Yeah, that's the red one.
That thing is bad.
Yeah.
It's badass. It's like a goddamn lightsaber.
Yeah, I don't know if you can look that up, Raul, but it's Royal Oak lighter or torch. And our good friend Al Fergoni gave us one when we went to the Texas Open meetup.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You didn't see it.
Did you not like?
I didn't share it.
You didn't bring 3.
I didn't.
Just brought the one.
We just got the one. He gave me the nice little Yeti cup. So appreciate
you.
You
got a Yeti cup too?
I got a Yeti cup too as well.
All right. Well, I'm done here.
But we got one of the Royal Oak torches, and this thing's badass, and it's refillable. There you go onto the left side.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, the middle one too. I think is the same, just a different color, right?
Yeah. The Flame Saber.
Flame Saber. I think a lightsaber. Yeah.
So check that thing out.
All right. If he can get that picture up, he'll get that picture up for you. That thing is badass. Seriously, a legitimate tool to have in your arsenal.
Yeah, and don't let your wife steal it because mine's already stole it. She's like inside.
I need it to light the candles.
Very easy to light the candles and very easy to light the fire place.
Okay.
So
okay. Oh, you guys have a fireplace.
Yep.
That's all. Yeah. We don't have a fireplace.
No. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
No. Yeah, I am. Yeah.
You seemed real sad about that.
A little bit. Like we've had. Well, here's the thing: we've had fireplaces at the last two houses we've lived at, and we literally never used them really. But when you don't have one, then you want one. You know what I mean? I guess that's how everything is in the world. Yeah, that's the thing right there. That's a cool little lighter. That's a great stocking stuffer.
A Texas lottery ticket and grab them the Brisket raffle ticket packaged together for a stocking stuffer is the best.
There it is.
100%.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah. And I know a couple of our listeners that are in here tonight have already got their raffle tickets. So, but there's a couple I don't think have. So,
a few days away.
You need to probably jump on that because tick, tick, tick.
Hey, can I purchase? If I win, would that be funny?
Yeah, it'd be funny.
Or you think it would be suspicious?
I just make sure you won't win.
Well, never mind then.
Raul, you might be going either way. So
good. I'll take that.
Right. Raul's going to show up with a mustache on. He's like, nope, I am.
It is
my name
sombrero.
My name is Schmaul.
Right. Jaw roll.
I'm Italian.
Yeah, forget about it.
Oh, that's funny.
This is a good time.
Yeah, we're having fun. Okay, so with that, let's do some barbecue wins, barbecue fails. And this one is from Galen Powell, Old Grunt Barbecue. If you were following along, I think he's on the social medias, but he sent this in. I think he emailed it to us. And this might have been like a month or so ago. We've been a little backed up on these. So if you haven't sent in your barbecue win or barbecue fail, you 100% can. You can also call it in 434-829-2299 and leave us a little voicemail. It's like a 3-minute little opening you have to just say, hey, this is what I did, or this is what happened. And obviously say who you are so we know who you are.
Exactly. And you can just leave us a message if you just want to talk to us.
Yeah, you can do that too. Or a question, or if you just want to say something hateful about Jan. Whatever you want to do, our hotline is there, 434-829-2299.
Real quick, Kel wants to know, where do you get these tickets?
Okay. What was the
we got heartbeatofahunter.com.
There it is. Sorry, man. I think I had too many beers tonight already.
Right?
Yeah, heartbeatofahunter.com.
As we close out, we're going to do another.
Also get it on all of our social medias. Any of our social medias on the links, there's a link you can find. Or if you go to grabthebrisket.com, I think something might pop up there. It's everywhere. Any of our social medias, or heartbeatofahunter.com, or stoneranchtx.com. There's a little thing at the top there that has it.
Okay.
A total brain fart there for a second. Okay. Where was I?
Barbecue win fail.
Barbecue fail. This is from our buddy
Galen
Powell. I guess you could call this a barbecue win, or normally just do comp barbecue, but we have recently branched out into doing barbecue pop-ups. Going into this, I didn't expect much, but man, did people surprise me. We had no food at all at the first one. No food left over at the first one, and maybe enough pulled pork for like 3 sandwiches. I injected with Cajun butter and seasoned with my SPG, 3 Little Pigs comp rub, and the Heath Riles pecan rub, which is a legit rub. And then, what do you say? Once it was ready to pull, I used the built-in puller in pork butt. I used the built-in puller in pork butt and added extra seasoning. Oh, he's talking about the bone. Okay, so he used the bone to shred it up. He's telling us he's just showing off and saying this is super tender, and I just shredded up with the bone.
The built-in puller.
Added a little bit of extra seasoning and some Heath Riles brown sugar habanero glaze to mix it up. That's a pro tip. If you're doing shredded pork, pulled pork, always season it again. Add a little tiny bit of sauce.
Yeah.
After you shred it, not so much that it's like, oh, this is sauced. If you add just a little bit, it adds a shit ton of flavor, and you can't tell that it's been sauced. Anyways, that's what I do. And then he said, man, this was killer. I had people coming up to me at the gas station here complimenting my barbecue.
Yeah, that's always killer. Like when people come up to you and they're like, man, this is
I had your barbecue.
best.
It's so good.
Yeah, and they're calling people up, and obviously you cooked enough, and it's run out.
Yeah, you run out.
Yeah, I do like the little recipe that he gave you. I think he may be kind of messed up because that might be part of his competition. So we might have to
competition secrets.
Yeah, we might have to look into that. I think I've had that Three Little Pigs comp rub before, and I definitely had the pecan from Heath Riles. I've not put those two together, so maybe we might have to do a little. I'm not saying I'm stealing your recipe, and I'm going to make some badass like pulled pork.
Right. Well, you've used the Cajun butter injection too, I think. Right? Is that a what's it called? Tony?
Is it a Tony Chachere's?
Isn't it? Don't they do a Cajun butter injection?
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking anyway. Anyways, Galen Powell, you are a winner. What did you win, James?
Suckle Busters, Suckle Busters. Everybody get some Suckle Busters. I love Jan.
You nailed it, bro.
Nailed it, right?
Yeah, you're out, Jan.
Like twins.
Yep, he's fired.
There it is.
That is awesome. Anyways.
So yeah, go over to sucklebusters.com and scope out all the rubs that they have and pick out your favorite. As always, we always recommend the Chicks That Smoke. It's a spicy all-purpose rub. I think it complements a lot of food, a lot of protein. So it pretty much just goes on everything. But yeah, go ahead and check out the website. They got a lot of different styles of rubs. So pick out what you think would pique your interest and go with that.
Yep.
And we'll ship it out right to you.
Yep. Just you can also send in your barbecue wins or barbecue fails to info@grabememinthebrisket.com, or like we said before, you can call it in 434-829-2299, or any of our social medias. You can send us a message. And when you're doing your Christmas shopping, don't forget to head over to grabthebrisket.com and get you a t-shirt or some other kind of swag stuff and your raffle ticket. So
yeah. We got a lot of cool little like hey, Masters of the Universe styled t-shirt in a brisket flavor, so to speak. So Masters of the Brisket. Hopefully there's no trademark infringements going on there, but
don't
I
tell
don't
anybody.
think so. How much for one rib? That always kills.
It's classic.
Every time I wear that shirt out there, it's like, dude, bro, where did you get that shirt at? And I was like, hey, grab the brisket.
That one and the one that's in the Friends logo, but it just says brisket. Every time I wear that hoodie, everyone's like, oh, I love your shirt. I love your hoodie. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
So slide over there to grabthebrisket.com, all the merch. I guess we're getting towards the end. Man, next week's going to be a killer episode. We'll go and kind of preempt, let you guys know that next week is the Christmas
season
special
finale.
Yeah, the season finale.
Christmas special. Usually it runs a little bit longer than some of our other episodes, but also we usually have, I mean, in the past we've done up to like 6 different beer reviews in one show. All Christmas or holiday beers. It's going to be a blast.
It's going to be fun and a shit show all rolled up into one nice, pretty package with a nice little bow on it. Like John said, it's a lot of beer reviews. We fully have not worked out all the guests or the kinks, so to speak. So we may have some guests on the show. We may be reaching out to some of the listeners, some of the people out there. Not really sure. So if the phone rings, let us know. Or don't let us know.
Don't send us the voicemail.
Yeah. And right, guys, can we just do like a little bit of like a pro tip? Like if you're going to send somebody to voicemail, if you're not going to answer the phone,
at least wait a couple rings.
Maybe just turn the ringer off to allow it just to keep ringing or something, but just don't just immediately like end.
Right. 100%.
I'm just saying.
I'll also add that like, this is going to be the last episode for this year, but also we probably won't be back until the second week in January, probably. Because
thanks for telling me, guys.
Yeah, sorry, man. We're gonna be on a cruise, man. I guess you and James can come run this shit for a couple weeks. But we got Christmas, we got New Year's, and then we got a cruise, man. So it's gonna be probably 2, maybe 3 weeks off. We can refresh, regroup, try to get our shit together, and then come back swinging next year.
I love it. Yeah. Should we get a list of the holiday beers that we're going to be doing? Should we put that out beforehand?
We definitely can. People can try to get
some of the listeners and maybe a guest, if we have guests on, can grab a couple of those.
That's a great idea.
Might happen. I don't know.
I like it.
Dude, as always, it's been great talking barbecue with you.
Peace.